Okay, so today we have Morrissey, You're Right, It's Time. Of course, this is the album opener for Makeup Is a Lie. I've done the singles, and now let's move into the track list, and let's just start right off the beginning. What the hell? So, yeah, You're Right, It's Time. That feels like an apropos title for everything Morrissey went through to try to get an album out, and finally put out his 14th one. So let's get into it, talk about it after. We got an official visualizer here for the video. What the hell? Let's get into it. You're right, it's time. The bass. Heavy on that bass.
I wanna move away from those who stare at screens all day.
Uh-oh.
I wanna speak up and to not be trapped by censorship. In search of wisdom so much wiser than my own. I wanna let somebody love me if they can.
Classic.
You're right, it's time. You're right, it's time. I cast no shadow or reflection in the mirror now. I choose to shoot the breeze with trees and smile with skies, in search of wisdom so much wiser than my own. Till gentle doctors tell me why I now must die. You're right, it's time. You're right, it's time.
Fade out. Morrissey, You're Right, It's Time. I will never get over that album cover. I gotta say that. My goodness gracious. This is the opener. Hello. I've always talked about how, all these songs are Reactor that are old and all this stuff. And you think about some of the album openers I've listened to, especially even with Morrissey's music or the Smiths, whatever. And I think about what was that like to hear for the first time when it first came out. And I know, 2026 Morrissey doesn't compare to, 1982 or 83, 84, whatever the 80s or even the 90s stuff, or even 2004 with You Are the Quarry. But it's fun to hear, this for the first time when it did actually just kind of come out. So that comes to mind right at the get-go. And it, like I said at the top, it's such an apropos title after whatever he went through, whatever with albums that didn't get out or songs or whatever the hell. And finally he put out this album, and you're right. It's time. I think about it's time for his return to music. It's time for his return to, pop music, if you want to say that much. As well, it's time for change, I guess I would say as well. Societal change that comes to mind as well. But anyway, so that all comes to mind and how important I would say this is, of course, in his life. I mean, it's a new album coming out. I guess that it's important to the singer. But yeah, so that all comes into my big fat head. And I think about the upbeatness here. I think about how upbeat it is right off the get-go. The drum work here from, I would say, Brendan Buckley. Although I believe there would be programming, there's keyboards all over this. It's glossy. There's feelings of the 70s for me, and there's feelings of, like, inklings anyway of like post-punk, at least with the bass. And I did say right off the get-go that heavy bass, I mean, just heavy bass lines here, very big bass lines. And every time I think of like that, and it reminds me of, again, post-punk, and there's a bit of darkness, there's a bit of ominous feel to it, even though there's an upbeat feel to the track right at the get-go. Again, it does move to a more ominous feel at different points, and that just reminds me of some post-punk feelings that I got, and some kind of Peter Hook things or whatever come to mind. But because every time I think of post-punk, Peter Hook's face just comes in my fucking brain. But anyway, so that did come to mind, and I hate to say it, but because some people have yelled at me for using this word, but groovy. The bass was pretty groovy here, pretty moving as well. And I don't just mean moving in the way that the song makes you, feel sad or whatever the hell, but it moves you in the way that it makes your ass start to shake. It makes you want to move around. I guess, the bassist is always kind of, it could be underrated along with the drummer, but they make you move. And that was happening here on this track here. So shout out to Brendan, shout out to the bassist as well here as well. I'll get into some of the personnel after, even though I've talked with these guys over and over and I can't remember in my big fat head who they are. But anyway, from the programming and the ticking, I don't know how else to say it, if that's again programming or percussion or whatever, but that continuous ticking sound reminded me of, I gotta say, the Halloween theme. It reminded me of John Carpenter's Halloween theme for the movie, of course, from 78. And again, maybe that's why I was getting 70s vibes here, but it's a callback anyway. And there was it was glossy as hell. Like, I don't know if I already mentioned that, but glossy as hell all over. But at the same point, it was like Morrissey did that and called back to the 70s, but it was kind of moved forward a bit into the 21st century. I don't know. That comes to my head anyway for that. But to talk about all the background and whatever the hell behind Morrissey's voice, now to finally talk about Morrissey's voice, again, he's 66 years old, something like that. And I like that he does sound older because, again, you're right, it's time. Some of these lines, I mean, he is on a soapbox, and I don't know if I always like him being on a soapbox. I like him talking about his loveless life or whatever the hell. That's fun to talk. Well, maybe not fun for him, but it's interesting to hear whatever. So I guess, when he's on the soapbox talking about censorship or whatever the hell, maybe it's not everyone's cup of tea, but he did sound good. I mean, you can say whatever you want about Morrissey, and he talks about the grave here, and he talks about a doctor telling him, when he's going to die or whatever, all these things. He's thinking about, maybe not the end of his life or whatever, and when that may come. So it's just very interesting to hear him talk about those things because, again, he is older. And now to finally get back to my original point, no matter who you are or what you think about Morrissey, his voice has aged, I would say, pretty well. I mean, he doesn't sound like a 66-year-old man still giving it a go, at least to me. He still has a lot of gravitas, and he elongated that word time for a pretty long time, and it made it sound pretty good to me anyway. In my eyes, his vocal range here was pretty fucking good, and it made you feel you could feel his emotions, you could feel his passion. I would still say the song felt pretty impassioned, and it was very important to him. I got to go back to that because you're right, it's time. That just, I don't know, it encapsulates a lot of what he was going through, I guess, for the last few years, and finally having this song come out and or at least this album, whatever, some of these songs see the light of day, and finally, his little return here. Anyway, you're right, it's time, and I guess it was. So, like I was going to say, I've talked about all these people before the last few weeks here, but let's go again. Morrissey on vocals, lyrics, vocal melodies, my goodness gracious, Camilla Gray on keyboards, programming, Carmen Vandenberg on electric guitar and acoustic guitar as well on different songs. That is not this one, but there was light strumming. I see that guitar. I did like the light strumming that came in at different points as well. I just got to say that much too, as overarching as that is. Juan Galino, can't remember how to say his last name, but Juan is on bass, and I did talk about that bass guitar and being a big point on this track here. So shout out to Juan here. Brendan Buckley on drums, Jesse Tobias on electric guitar as well. Alan White, and then we go on, and these people are not on the song, so never mind. They were on different tracks on this album. So there you go there. Anyway, but again, I don't know if I've said it before. I must have. But I just love that Alan White and Morrissey are back together on an album. That just heals my heart. But anyway, let's go into these lyrics now. And like I said, Morrissey, right at the get-go, you understand where he's coming from, at least from his point of view. And you don't have to agree with him or whatever he's talking about, whatever. But at the end of the day, it's just, I mean, he's a singular individual and you know, always true to himself. So here we go with the first verse. I want to move away from those who stare at screens all day. And I'm sure Morrissey would hate to see my screen time. I mean, even it scares me sometimes. I want to speak up and not be trapped by censorship. So there you go there. I mean, it encapsulates everything he's been going through in his life, you know, the past, decade or whatever. In search of wisdom so much wiser than my own. I want to let somebody love me if they can. Again, that line, when I heard it, I mean, I think it did giggle. And it's not supposed to probably make you giggle. But you just think about Morrissey's been on that train for the last 45 years, whatever, talking about somebody love me if they can. And it's just, I just love, it never gets old to me though. It's just that old feeling that Morrissey has always had nobody to love. I mean, my goodness gracious. Anyway, and he's in search of wisdom, wiser than his own. He's in search of something more than what most people are after. I mean, that comes to mind again and again. He's an individual here. He's not like the rest of the people. My goodness gracious. He's different. We got the refrain, you're right, it's time. You're right, it's time. And I guess the boldness, I guess he puts into it there with his voice, just to show even more that you're right, it is time. Then we got the second verse, I cast no shadow, and I think of Oasis there, of course, cast no shadow, hello. Anyway, or a reflection in the mirror now. And again, I think about his older age, I think about all he's been through, I think about all he's seen, I mean, that comes to mind. Again, there's a lot of points here where it seems like he's talking about futility, or talking about death, of course, talking about how much time he may have left. I mean, my goodness gracious. And again, that's another thing. Some people will be very happy when Morrissey dies. I mean, there's a song called that. I can't wait till Morrissey's dead or whatever the hell. But anyway, but some people will not be. And my goodness gracious. Anyway, and I'm sure Morrissey doesn't give a fuck either way. I choose to shoot the breeze with trees and smile with skies in search of wisdom so much wiser than my own. Till gentle doctors tell me why I now must die. And when I heard that, I was like, well, Jesus Christ. I mean, I guess so. But I mean, that's pretty much what you go to the doctors for. And they tell you you're fine until you're not, until you're not. I mean, holy fuck, that's life. But anyway, you know, he chooses to shoot the breeze with the trees and smile with the skies. Again, not actually mingling with actual people. And I mean, yeah, he's an introvert. He's a homebody. I mean, all these things come to my head. And there's some relatability there. I mean, I'd rather talk to my cat than talk to somebody at a grocery store or something. And again, he's in search of wisdom, and he's not going to find this wisdom through talking to maybe, you know, just a person walking by on the street. I don't know. That comes to mind anyway. Not to say that Morrissey hates people. Of course, he loves his fans, I would say. But yeah, he's just, he's a different guy going to a different place to find wisdom. Then we have the refrain again. The instrumental break, and then the outro. You're right, it's time. You're right, it's time. That's gone on more and more, repeated on, and again, just showing Morrissey's vocal chops and his range at this point in time in 2026. So, yeah, I mean, again, it's I was going to say bombastic, but it's a bold, well beated. Is that a good beat here? Makes you dance. I mean, I gotta say again, I was moving around like an idiot. I mean, I just really enjoyed the beat here anyway. The beat, my goodness gracious. And how impassioned Morrissey was over top of it, if I could talk. And yeah, so I mean, to me, I didn't hate it. I mean, again, I know people would say this sucks, but at the same point, it's Morrissey in 2026. It's just like, I don't know, this is, you know, him staying with the times in a way, I would say, and bringing the 70s kind of vibe into the 21st century, like I said. And it's not a song that I inherently hate. I mean, I did enjoy it. And again, that voice, I'll never get tired of that voice. So anyway, you're right, it's time. And I'm sure the chorus is going to be in my head for a while, at least the refrain or whatever. But yeah, so anyway, I have a hard time saying any song sucks. And this is one that to me did not really suck or anything. So, because again, I see the reviews and I'm just like, well, my goodness gracious. But it's almost like Morrissey killed a baby or something. But anyway, that's all I got to say there. So thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting. We'll be back into more Makeup as a Line next week. And, you know, tell me if you're still here. Tell me your favorite songs off the album, if you got any, or if you say if it sucks or whatever you want to say. And, yeah, so thanks for everything, all the support. I'll talk to you guys again soon.